All right. If you have a multi-engine, you have one here, you have one here usually, all right? And that would not be called center thrust, but you have one and one. It's not centered, okay? And this is the different types of category and class, right? So you would have the multi-engine class. Uh, you have the multi-engine class. Multi-engine would be usually normal category. You have the aerobatic category, right? And then you have the commuter, all right? Now, even if it was all, let's suppose they're all normal category, all right? This is a seaplane class, this is a multi-engine class, this is a land airplane class, all right? So keep that in mind. It can be same category even, but different classes. So write that down, all right? Uh, I wouldn't necessarily agree with the moment an aircraft first move under its own power. It's when the battery turns on, okay? So basically when the battery turns on, when you turn it on, the Hobbs meter, which we calculate and put it in our logbook, and that's what we do it on, right?
So do we write that down or just write the battery?
So I would say either right flight time. Flight time means uh, first movement under own power, kind of thing.
Like moves.
Okay.
So when you get flight time, if you like taxied to the runway, had maintenance issue, and came back, does that count or no?
No. All right. So we had a question here. If we have a maintenance issue, you go to the runway and then you come back. You didn't fly. You stopped the flight. You would not count it in your logbook. You know, funny enough, what people used to do in early aviation,
Sit there on the ground.
sit there on the, well, not even sit there on the ground. They would turn on the engine with the tie downs are connected, go grab some coffee while the engine is running, and then boom, you got like 5 hours. All right. Now, we have airtime. All right. Airtime is basically what you should write for that is wheels up and wheels down. So the minute you take off, all right, airtime begins. And the minute you land, airtime stops.
So how would you like write that down? Like, would you just write it down like right before you're about to take off, kind of thing?
You will write down the time before you take off.
In the run up or like kind of
when you're holding short.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay. Now, there are some what they call technical records. All right. Technical records, we have about 4 or 5 of them for each airplane. All right. We have for the fuselage, for the propeller, for the engine, and I know we have one more. I'm totally blanking out over here. All right, but you don't need to know that, right? These technical records are being kept in maintenance, right? We don't take it to the airplane. We don't do anything with them. It's just in maintenance. Every time you change the propeller or do something to the propeller, it should go, it must go in the technical record, okay? You don't need to ever see that though. It's not our job. Even in WestJet, right? They never showed me a technical record before because it's not my job to know with stuff. Okay. Continuing. Air operator. holder of an air operator certificate. Simple as that.
What's an air operator certificate or your rule?
All right. So that's a simple one to know. If you're an air operator, you have the certificate for that. I know, very descriptive. But what is an operator? All right. All right. Basically, a person that has possession of an aircraft. That's what it means. All right. Possession of an aircraft. Okay.
Person.
Now,
Legal possession or just possession?
possession. Well, it has to be legal. You can't just steal an airplane.
Yeah, well, that's
Because if you steal an airplane, I'm sure you've seen the Dash 8 in Atlanta, it was, or something. Somebody's,
Seattle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It crashed, right?
Yeah.
And died.
Well, no, I think it was shot down.
Was it shot? No. Okay. Good. Now, we're going to talk about what is a responsible person. All right? Responsible person. So basically,
It's just you.
all right, a person, okay, so I would say a person you trust to report yourself if you are late. Okay? So if, for example, I'm going on a flight, I'll be like, hey, Brody, I'm coming back at 2 p.m. I'm going from here to Hope to Abbotsford back here, okay? At 2 p.m., if I'm not back, call 911 or call this number to look for me, okay? And so you are now in charge of making sure I'm back on time.
You write that or just say person.
No, you write that down, okay?
Oh,
Not the whole thing, just for a responsible person, a person who filed a flight itinerary.
who has on the flight.
Okay. And that responsible person will notify someone if the aircraft is late. All right. Most likely they'll talk to ATC or basically call the Rescue Coordination Center.
That's what a person who's filed a flight itinerary.
What?
So the person who's filed a flight itinerary will notify agency if you're late.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all?
Yes. All right. So it's not a person that files a flight itinerary.
Oh,
A flight itinerary.
just filed. Oh, agreed with the person.
Okay. So flights. Okay. So every time we fly for far distances, we have a flight plan. If you do a flight plan, you have to call the rescue coordination yourself. You have to tell them where you're going, time you're coming back, and all that stuff. And they will do the job for you. If you don't want to call them, which you don't have to, but if you don't want to call them and you're going somewhere far, somebody needs to report you if you are late. All right. So that somebody is going to be whoever you trust to be a responsible person that will do the job and go and what it is. Go report you if you're late, basically. Okay? Aziz, what didn't you get? Okay. All right. I'll just let other people. I'll just let quickly people finish up. What?
The Dash 8, they like stop news coverage in like 5 minutes.
Sorry. Just stand by.